Good evening and welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Tamiru Nimsan. Let's have a look at the headlines. Heavy rainfall will gradually decrease over the next few days, DMC predicts. Central Bank makes a strategic intervention in the forex market. News in detail. Director General of the Department of Meteorology, Atula Karunanayaka, said that the heavy rainfall that was experienced will gradually decrease over the next few days, but the gloomy conditions and considerable rainfall will prevail throughout the day. Atula Karunanayaka said this speaking at a media briefing held at the Department of Government Information premises today.
මේ අධික වර්ෂාපතනය දැන් ක්‍රමක්‍රමයෙන් අඩුවීමක් තමයි අපිට අපේක්ෂා කරන්න පුළුවන්. අපේ තියෙන විශ්ලේෂණවල විශේෂයෙන්ම අඩු වෙනවා කියන එකේ තේරුම වහින්නේ නැහැ කියන එක නෙවෙයි. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් බස්නාහිර, සබරගමු, දකුණු, මධ්‍යම සහ වයඹ වගේ පළාත්වල අර මෝසමට සාපේක්ෂව වහින වර්ෂාව. ඒ කියන්නේ වහිනවා ආය සූර්යාලෝකයේ වැටෙනවා. ඒ වගේ තත්ත්වවල තමයි ඉදිරි දින කිහිපය තුළ තියෙන්නේ. අධික වර්ෂාපතනයක් ලැබෙන්නේ නැහැ. ජනතාවට ඒක අහිතකර බලපෑමක් ඇති වෙන්නේ නැහැ. අනෙකුත් පළාත් ගත්තම සාමාන්‍ය සන්ධ්‍යා කාලේ හෝ රාත්‍රී කාලේ තනින් තන වැසි ස්වල්පයක් ඇතිවීමේ තත්ත්වයක් තියෙනවා. ඒතර මේ ආකාරයේ වර්ෂාපතනය තමයි ඉදිරි දින කිහිපය තුළ දැනට වෙන්නේ. හැබැයි මේක තුළ කියවෙන්නේ නැහැ මැයි මාසයේ ඉඳන් සැප්තැම්බර් දක්වා තියෙන කාල පරිච්ඡේදය තුළ ආය ගම් අතුරු උදුර ඇති වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ වගේ කතා කියන්න බෑ. මොකද හේතුව එවැනි දෙයක් ඇති වෙනවා නම් අපිට ඒක කල්ැතුව කියන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද හේතුව බෙන්ගාල බොක්කාවට ප්‍රදේශයේ ඇති වෙන කැළඹෙන ස්වභාවයන්, අඩු පීඩන කලාප, සුළි කුණාටු ඒ වගේ දේවල් වර්ධනය වෙනවා නම් අපිට ඒ පිළිබඳ අනාවැකේ දෙන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි ඒ වගේ වර්ධනය වෙනවා නම් අපිට දින 10ක් දින 7ක් ඇතුළත විශ්ලේෂණ වලට අහු වෙනවා. එතකොට අපි අනිවාර්යෙන් ජනතාව දැනුවත් කරනවා. ඒකේ ගමන් මාර්ගය අනුව ලංකාවට තියෙන වර්ෂාපතනය වැඩි වෙනවද, අඩු වෙනවද? ඒ වගේ කල්ැතුව අපිට ප්‍රකාශ කිරීමේ හැකියාවක් තියෙනවා.
The Central Bank of Sri Lanka's intervention in the forex market has seen net purchases amounting to $420 million in April, boosting the total for the first 4 months of the year to $1.6 billion. The central bank's high net purchases have been a key driver for the increase in gross official reserves, which rose to $5.5 billion by the end of April 2024. This figure includes a swap facility from the People's Bank of China, valued at approximately $1.5 billion, although it comes with certain conditionalities on its usability. According to the central bank, the substantial net purchases of foreign exchange from the domestic market were the primary reason for this significant boost in reserves. The import coverage of these gross official reserves, including the PBOC swap, has remained robust, staying above 3 months of imports since December 2023. As of the end of April 2024, the import coverage stood at 3.8 months. The central bank has released data showing a mixed performance in April, with both exports and imports experiencing month-on-month declines but growing year-on-year. Earnings from merchandise exports rose by 3.4% to $878 million in April 2024 compared to $849 million in April 2023. On the import front, expenditure saw a marginal increase of 0.3%, reaching $1,434 million in April 2024, up from $1,431 million in April 2023. For the first 4 months of 2024, exports were up by 5.5%, totaling $4 billion, while imports increased by 9.5% to $5.8 billion. Industrial exports saw the most significant growth, primarily due to increased volumes of bunkering and aviation fuel. Agricultural exports improved as well, driven by higher volumes of coconut-related products and tea, despite a decline in spice exports. On the import side, expenditure on investment goods contributed to the increase in import expenditure, while intermediate and consumer goods saw declines. The export volume index increased by 5%, while the unit value index declined by 1.5%, indicating that higher export volumes drove the increase in export earnings. Similarly, the import value index improved by 11.7%, while the unit value index declined by 10.2%, showing that the increase in import expenditure was also volume driven. Stay tuned. We will return after the short commercial break. Welcome back after the break. The International Monetary Fund has scheduled the 12th of this month for its executive board to take up Sri Lanka's program review. State Minister for Finance Shahan Semasinghe announces that the session will evaluate Sri Lanka's economic policies and reform progress. State Minister for Finance Shahan Semasinghe recently said that Sri Lanka is confident of wrapping up debt talks in time for the International Monetary Fund to consider the next review of the island's program. Minister Semasinghe told the reporters that the government has a strong conviction that within our timelines to do the job. He also added that discussions on converting in principle deals with official creditors into MOUs are progressing smoothly and according to the due schedules. He further added that they would open the second round of negotiations with the bondholders while the advisors of bondholders and government are also actively engaging in the proceedings. State Minister also said that the government look forward for continued support of all countries for a successful review to unlock the third tranche, which will further enhance economic stability, growth and reform efforts. Sri Lanka is currently finalizing MOUs with official creditors and are also in talks with the IMF. The Executive Board will consider both the program review and Article 4 consultation. Foreign Secretary Aruna Wijewardena met with the Canadian Deputy Minister for International Development Christopher McLennan at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs recently. The meeting focused on Sri Lanka's progress in economic stabilization and the importance of economic diplomacy alongside efforts in promoting peace and reconciliation. The Foreign Ministry Secretary emphasized the government's high priority on economic diplomacy as the country aims for revenue generation and growth. The Foreign Secretary expressed Sri Lanka's deep concern over high-level statements made in Canada in recent years that propagate a false narrative of genocide related to the Sri Lankan conflict. While noting Sri Lanka's objections to political statements involving genocide allegations, McLennan assured that it would be communicated to authorities in Canada. Deputy Minister McLennan expressed Canada's commitment to continuing its collaboration in areas such as climate change, energy transition and reconciliation. Sri Lanka and Turkmenistan marked a new chapter in bilateral relations, exploring cooperation in parliamentary engagements, economic sectors, energy, transport and education. The discussions with representatives from both nations engaging in comprehensive discussions across various sectors was held virtually at the Foreign Ministry premises last week. In the economic domain, the dialogue focused on potential investment opportunities and collaboration in the oil and gas, textile and apparel, agriculture, food processing, pharmaceutical and IT sectors. The possibility of organizing a Turkmen-Sri Lanka business forum was proposed to facilitate business connections between the two countries. Discussions also encompassed other areas of cooperation such as culture, art, sport, tourism and education, highlighting the multifaceted nature of the bilateral relationship. The consultations concluded with a proposal for the next round of Foreign Office consultations between Sri Lanka and Turkmenistan to be convened in January 2025. Stay tuned for stock update. Trading at Trump Stock Exchange ended on negative notes today. The All Share Price Index dropped 56.05 points to close at 12,050.44 and the S&P SL20 dropped 15.08 points to close at 3,553.96. The turnover was 0.6 billion rupees and over 43 million shares were traded. Up next are forex rates. That's all our news for today. For this and more, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. Take care and good night.